Welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. You can call me Kiki, and tonight we're celebrating the full moon in Capricorn. Welcome to Cancer season. Happy birthday to all the Cancers across the world. We're going to be here for a little minute. Because first we're going to talk about a few messages that came up over the last week. Then we're going to talk about what's happening we're going to ground our energy. Then we're going to talk about what's happening in the sky over the next week. And then we're going to talk about the astrological houses that could be impacted or highlighted from this full moon in Cancer. We're going to do that for each sign. And then we're going to do the card confirmation. Okay. So before we ground our energy, I just want to say that there is this stuck in the past kind of energy. Okay. It could be an energy that we're resonating with ourselves, where we are stuck in routine. We could be a procrastinator. We could be someone who puts things off. Or maybe you're tired. Maybe you need rest and you're learning how to get your rest. That's something that this full moon is going to be calling us to do, is to love on ourselves and allow ourselves to rest. There's also this energy where your light, okay, your light and your presence, what you bring out of people, shines a light on areas where they are stuck in the past, or they feel stuck in the past. And that could be an energy you're resonating with. Like, you could feel like maybe your circle is shifting or changing. Maybe you're kind of refining your circle. You could be feeling, like some of our codependency wounds had us in survival mode, where we needed validation from other people, or we needed somebody to tell us that we were doing a good job, or that they're proud of us, or they're happy for us. And we don't get that kind of energy. Not saying that we shouldn't, because that is important. But we are possibly needing it, wanting it, and we were looking for it outside of ourselves. This energy is calling us to go within and find it from within, bring it from within. Not to lie to ourselves or anything like that, but to not be looking for it outside of ourselves. Okay, this Cancer season is going to require us to do some emotional work. It's going to require us to do some deeper, self-love, self-reflecting, self-understanding. Okay, that Leo energy can do that too. When we have the courage, we know when to come out of our pride, maybe put our ego down. It's calling us to be more courageous in every area, and definitely emotionally. So we're getting stronger for ourselves. That's part of the transition and the change, the integration that we're being called into, is to love on ourselves. And I know it can be a little tough, but we can start it with gratitude. We can start it with gratitude and allow ourselves to connect with that feeling so that we recognize it. Having gratitude and being able to give it to ourselves is a very powerful thing. It's like the silver lining in any dark cloud. It's to be thankful for the good that is coming with it, right? So during this time that we're going to be required to go within, we're going to need to allow ourselves to connect with that next level feeling. distracted. But that going within is going to allow us to know how to love on ourselves and give ourselves the I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what I have accomplished. I'm proud of the person that I am. That's the way we're going to have to start talking to ourselves during this time. It's almost like this retrograde is really going to make the communication is going to go in reverse in the way that instead of it being something we typically give out to others, it's going to be how we're talking to ourselves. And we're being called to have the patience. Have patience right now. This isn't about fast moving energy. Okay, especially during this retrograde. It's going to be all about consistent, persistent action and slowing down, refining. So like the downloads are going to be coming, like you're going to have so many ideas and things that you want to be creative with, and so many things are going to be coming in, like all these ideas, like new business and creativity, and we're going to have to be like discerning over what's really in alignment with us at the moment. That's what it is. It's like what's really for us, like really taking all the wisdom from the last, what has the last 6 months shown us, the last year, the last 2 years, the last maybe 4, 5, 6 years. What is it showing us? And applying it. Okay? Applying it. So I'm going to ground our energy, but like I mentioned, there's a stuck in the past kind of energy. It could be this toxic masculinity energy where we get really into our ego and we start focusing on like material things or like what things look like versus like what it really is. So that could also have us kind of stuck there. It's like a ego kind of energy, like stuck in ego and being like delusional, because we're freeing the illusion. Like people can't hide from you, you know what I mean? You can see the spirit very clearly of being that being stuck in the past kind of energy, whether it's in ourselves or whether it's in others. We're not isolating, but we are going within, if that makes sense. We got to balance it out. There's a childlike kind of energy that's calling us to be creative, to be more playful. Okay? But we still have to be discerning. We're in a space where there's a lot of energies that are refusing to mature, refusing to, let the old self die, the old self go, like the renewing of our minds. It's like a lot of folks are still very confused and feeling left out in the cold. If you're not resonating with that energy, then you could be the one who makes this light or this darkness. You bring this to the light. When people are around you, you bring that type of spirit to the light. Okay, your presence exposes, like a full moon, exposes people who feel stuck, or people who feel stuck could be triggered or impacted by your energy. Hopefully it's in a good way. When it comes to being stuck, you kind of kill that spirit, you slay that demon where it's like people, they can have excuses around you. Okay. Yeah. Don't resist the rebirth. And if you're feeling like you're still at like the entry level of life, you feel like you're still, not where you want to be, or you haven't accomplished, a lot of what you wanted to accomplish. This is your moment to really go within. This is your moment to not, like I said, not isolate, but to just focus on being true to yourself. Focus on telling yourself the truth. Okay? A couple other messages that came up was populate heaven and plunder hell. I really like that. Demon slayer, we already talked about. We slay demons daily. Releasing debt and lack and a poverty mindset is also coming up. Okay? Capricorns don't want to be broke. Invest in appreciating assets over liabilities. Okay? And that includes people. Assets over liabilities. Not to use people, but there's a balance, a give and a take. It's reciprocal and it's easy. All right, and investing in yourself. Okay, I've talked about how investing is something that rich people do. And if you resonate with being rich, being wealthy, having generational wealth, if that's something that you're being called to manifest, heal, become, whatever about it resonates for you, it's letting you know that if it's not growing, it's shrinking, right? If our money isn't growing, our money is shrinking. That was another message that came up. But we have to be investing. If you are resonating with a person of wealth or being affluent, then you should be investing. We should be investing. That is not me talking down on anybody. That is just from what I've seen, and I know how to count. Okay, I know how to count a whole lot of money. I know how to count, and so there are the probability, the numbers, all of it. There's no way. So I can talk a little bit towards the end of the video about what I'm going to be investing in. I do find it interesting that during Gemini season, memory stocks were up or are up. They still are up. Everything has kind of pulled back over the past couple days, but apparently that kind of happens in June. However, memory stocks are a big deal right now, and they were up during Gemini season, which is that mentally agile air sign called the Gemini. So yeah, all right. Yeah, if your money isn't growing, your money is shrinking. Money is a currency. It's always moving. Currency has to move, and it's either moving up or it's moving down. Which way is your money moving? Which way is your money moving? Mr. or Mrs. I deserve to be rich, or I resonate with wealth, or which way is your money moving? Okay? All right, so did we ground? We did. Let's ground our energy. I'm not going to do a lot of talking through this one. I just want you to be able to take a few deep breaths. And just focus on that for the next minute or two. Just breathing in and breathing out. continue breathing. Each time you exhale, let the doubt, the guilt, and the shame be released from under your feet. See the words traveling out from the bottoms of your feet, down your energetic roots, running all the way down, penetrating the earth, the doubt, the guilt, the shame. See it running all the way down your roots, deep into the earth, all the way down to the earth's warm red center. See those words dissolve, releasing doubt, guilt, shame. Allow the core of Mother Earth to transmute, burn away, and alchemize this energy to be returned to you as love, light, peace, and prosperity. See it now shaking, dripping, dropping all over you as radiance, light, stars showering you now. Love, light, peace, prosperity, raining down on you while you dance. It kisses your face, runs all the way down as you dance over top it. We thank you. We calling in our ancestors of love and light, guardian angels, archangels, ascended masters. Come in and protect us and guide us as we download the messages for our best and highest good under this full moon in Capricorn, allowing us to feel grounded, stable, and gainfully employed. We thank you. We thank you, Mother Earth, for always being our source of grounding. We feel safe, secure, and fully protected. We are grounded. It is done. Just slowly bring your awareness back to the room. Taking a moment to capture what was revealed to you. Was it an image, a feeling, a sensation, a song? So, last week, let me know how that feels. Let me know how that feels in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Okay, but tell me what resonates. Tell me what's a confirmation for you. So, last week the sun entered Cancer on Father's Day, which was also the first day of summer. A lot of masculine energy. Fathers, the sun, courage, pride, identity, ego, image. Moving into the sign that's nurturing, emotional, intuitive to some extent, very family oriented, very grounded, home kind of energy. And then this week we have Mars, or we had Mars shifting into Gemini, which is like massive downloads, fast moving, like all the ideas, all the creativity, just like flood, like it's like a flood of like information. And where we're going to be challenged is we're going to have to discern what's a waste of time and a distraction and what's really in alignment. That's us embracing this next version of ourselves. Okay, Mars is going to cause you to make some type of move, but it can't be hasty. It has to be balanced. It has to be thought through. It has to be discerning and wise. Okay, so you're going to be having to make sense of things, logical, like numeric sense, scientific sense. Okay, it's that kind of energy. Mercury also shifts the same day as our full moon, which is going to bring a lot of emotional things to the surface. If that energy feels in alignment with you, you could be resonating with being more emotionally stable. You could be realizing, how to show up for yourself. That could be the energy that's connecting with you, where you agree that you have to talk to yourself and tell yourself how proud you are of yourself and what you have done for yourself and things like that. You could be resonating with that. It's also a calling for all of us to become more emotionally stable, because a lot of our emotions are really holding us back from things, especially emotions from the past, like things that hurt us, we're holding on to. Okay, we do have to come out of our victim mentality. We do have to come out of the woe is me or this happened to me. So it's like you're connecting with an energy where you know what you deserve, you know what you are in alignment with. Like I said, if you're connecting with the energy of wealth or being rich and things of that sort, we have to invest. Rich people invest, wealthy people invest. There's a reason that they do that. There's a reason that has stood the test of time. And from the numbers that I can see, it's looking pretty good. And I'll say, we can dig, like I said, I can dig a little more. Did I say that already? Anyway. But memory stocks were up during Gemini season. I ended up having to record a new video because my crazy butt said full moon in Cancer, which ain't the case. So I had to, yeah. So I'm coming back, and now I don't remember what I may have said because it was about 40 minutes. I had a really good grounding though. This one was good too, but that one was really good. So I may keep that, but maybe I'll say it for the full moon in Cancer. That won't be till Capricorn season. It'll be cold outside, but it was a really good grounding. All right. And then Jupiter shifts into Leo. So Jupiter loves on us, okay? Like loves on us in a way, like not like a Venus love, but like I'm going to push you to grow. I'm going to make you expand, okay? Your pockets could be getting fatter, so could your booty. You could be getting a little plump, gaining weight or something like that. That could be something that you're taking a new approach on, or a different approach on, or you feel like you have to do something different to be like this next best version of yourself. But Jupiter energy coming into Leo is going to expand our pride, expand our courage. It's going to give us a lot more confidence in ourselves, okay? And during this retrograde, which we're being called to reflect, we're being called to, for the energy I get for this one is like a refining your refreshing, like you're refining your restart. So we're going to take the next month during this Mercury retrograde where it's like, okay, how am I going to redefine myself over the next month, like 4 weeks? Okay, what am I going to do that I'm going to commit to myself on over the next 4 weeks? It could be something you want to do daily, it could be something you want to do weekly, it could be something you want to do bi-weekly. Okay, that's the energy. Going within, going inward, and like understanding ourselves, denouncing, demolishing, rebuking all the energy that keeps us tied to the past, keeps us stuck in the past. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, you expose this energy too. People know that like that's not the energy you're coming with, so you're not going to accept that. So it's like I said, you eliminate the excuses. Jupiter in Leo is going to love on us for a year. So take a look at like where Leo falls in your chart, where Jupiter falls in your chart, and that will help to give you an understanding of where you can expect this growth, where you can expect this expansion, where you can. Jupiter carries a philosophical kind of energy too. So there is a level of discernment, a level of wisdom. That is an energy that Jupiter carries. Yeah. Growth, luck, philosophy. Thursday might be a day of significance this coming Thursday. Yes, we're releasing anything that's stopping us from growing. We're celebrating our growth. We're releasing any hindrance to our growth, to our expansion, to our blessings. Jupiter is coming into love on us. So see where Leo, what house Leo rules for you. If you have a pretty prominent placement for Leo, you're probably going to see that expansion in that area over the next year. But it probably has a little something for all of us. I know Leo season is going to be significant for us. I'm seeing that one will have that new moon in Cancer. Then, of course, Leo season is following up. But we also have, what else? Jupiter in Leo. So Leo season is going to probably be a turn up. We could be called to go sit down though. We could be called to kind of like I saw Wallow this morning and he said, sit this summer out. I was like, ooh, that might not be a bad idea to sit out a summer. But there is a lot that we can do in 90 days. There's a lot that we can do in 21 days. And so we're being called to recommit to ourselves, and that's how we're going to show up during this retrograde. We're going to refine our restart. So by the time this retrograde is over, which will be at least 21 days, we have developed a new habit that we're going to apply. So when that retrograde goes forward, we will already be in the habit. And a lot of it's going to start with how we talk to ourselves. Okay, the only way we can be more compassionate and empathetic to others, which is what Cancer season is calling us to do, the only way we can be more compassionate and empathetic to others is to be compassionate and empathetic with ourselves. And then be damn proud of our achievements. Period. That's how we're moving forward. Okay, we're not looking for validation from anybody else. We're giving it to ourselves. And we're going to do that for during the retrograde. That that communication is going to be going in reverse. Instead of us pushing it out to others, we're going to be saying it to ourselves. And you know what else? And I recommend this. I'm going to do it. Saying it in the mirror. Looking ourselves in the mirror, in the eye. I am proud of myself. I am proud of you. I have accomplished many things. I have done great things. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. It's funny, it reminds me of, I just had a retreat at work, and I was basically told to, like, you know, talk about what I bring to the firm, and I didn't give myself enough credit. And luckily, friend was like, that's not what your technical skills are. What's your technical skills? Like, what you an engineer for? And then I turned up and I was like, I've built hospitals, stadiums, office buildings. I know logistics. I know safety. I know critical path management. I know what it takes to get the job done on time and under budget. And then the whole room turned up. Like, yeah, like I'm like, yeah, I do got some technical. I got a lot of technical skills. Okay, not all the calculus and static dynamics that I took, steel design, concrete. Not all of it I have used in my career, but a lot of it I have. Some of it I have. Not all the time, but I have used some of it. And yeah, but I'm very proud of my accomplishments. That's the energy. We're going to talk to ourselves, baby. That's what we're going to do. Over the next, let me write it down. We're going to do some mirror work. Let me see what, I kind of want to ask chat, but mirror work. 21 days. Where's July? Mirror work. All right. So that's, I think I talked about what's going on in the sky. Yeah. So we don't really have much coming up early part of July. We do have on the 4th of July, which is Independence Day for the United States of America. We have a couple of shifts that day. Mars moves into conjunction. I hadn't forgot. Mars goes into a conjunction, and Mars enters a sextile with Pluto and Neptune. So that energy comes with wisdom, discernment, taking action, being driven, like trusting your intuition, moving with discernment, with wisdom. Okay? That's the transition, the growing up, like releasing that spirit of not maturing, the spirit that keeps us stuck. I think I talked about everything. Mercury retrograde, Jupiter enters Leo. Oh, yeah. Jupiter's going to love on us. Oh, let's talk about the signs before we jump into the cards. So I talked about the messages. We did our grounding. We talked about the sky. Yeah. And then we're going to talk about the signs. So, of course, Capricorn. Let me go back to my little cheat sheet. Capricorn, this moon is highlighting your first house. The first house of ego, image, how you show yourself to the world, your purpose, your vitality. It's the house of self, your appearance. you know? And it is asking you to release anything that's hindering you by being true to yourself. Shining a light on what's in the way of you becoming your next best self. Shining a light on it, releasing it. Okay, Capricorn. So, Capricorn, Aquarius, this moon is highlighting your 12th house. Okay, the house of subconscious, secrets, solitude. Are you being as empathetic as you could be? What could you be reflecting on? How could you reflect on gratitude, giving gratitude? When you reflect on gratitude, what would you be thankful for? Okay, Aquarius. Yeah. What are you being called to change? How are you becoming more intuitive? Where are you being called to be more, to go deeper, or to have more depth? Pisces, this moon is highlighting your 11th house. The 11th house of friendships, networks, groups, aspirations, your future goals. I don't know why I can't talk. What's stopping you from growing? Are you celebrating your growth? What do you need to release so you can if you're not? You're being called to assess your groups. Maybe even assess your aspirations. Are your goals realistic? Are your goals 555 on the clock? Are your goals what you need to shift, what you need to transition? Or are your goals keeping you stuck? Are you happy and you know it? If you're happy, you know it, clap your hands. If you're not happy or you are not moving forward, what is it about your relationships, your friendships, your groups? Is it that could be holding you back in that area? You're being called to assess that. Alright, Aries, this moon is highlighting your 10th house. Your 10th house of career, reputation, and authority. Are you getting something new? Do you have something new happening in work, Aries? Has there been a shift for you? Are you going to another level, a new level? Have you just completed something and now you're moving into a different area of career or reputation, like what you're known for? Are you taking on more responsibility? You've learned some things, now you're like moving up in the world. What's in the way? What's stopping you from celebrating growth? When you take that assessment, what can you release? What do you want to release when it comes to your career, reputation, and your authority? Taurus, this moon is highlighting your 9th house of philosophy, travel, higher education. You may be being called to be more adventurous. Stay consistent and reliable not too overindulgent. You definitely want to balance things out. You want to make sure you're in harmony and in alignment. But is there anything holding you back from more learning, more education, or just going deeper? Like, are you being called to make more sense of things in a 3D kind of energy? Are you being called to make more sense of numbers, science, things, calculating correctly? Like, numbers don't lie kind of energy. Gemini, this moon is highlighting your 8th house of transformation, investments, intimacy, and yeah. So there's that investments confirmation. You're transforming, and you're definitely transforming in areas of intimacy. It's becoming easier to let go. It's becoming easier to walk away from what doesn't make sense, especially like if it's not truthful. Like if the information and the language ain't jiving, you kind of cutting it off. You're definitely doing that when it comes to numbers. You're focused on your intelligence, but you're focusing on facts. You're focusing on logic, which is helping you to balance out any areas of emotional blocks or insecurities that have kept us tied to the past. So say for instance, there's something that happened in the past. Maybe our parents broke up when we were young, and then we realized that we repeated that in our own lives. Maybe we broke up with a child's father or mother when the child was young. And does that mean that you're never going to be with someone who you have a child with, or you're never going to marry again, or you know what I mean, like those kind of things? So like releasing, because a lot of that stuff we carry based on memories that we still hold on to, right? Depending on how we process those memories. And some of it can really be subconscious, right? So we're looking at things we're not giving a lot of the benefit of the doubt. That's where a lot of, empaths, or not just empaths, but just people who have, if you already have empathy for someone, or you tend to want the best for people that you love, typically, you may sorry. Typically, you might give people the benefit of the doubt, like a lot or whatever. And so you get into a place now where you're like, I'm not giving the benefit of the doubt, or like, this is where I draw the line on the benefit of the doubt. So like I said, whether it's wordplay, communication, information, if it ain't jiving, like, you kind of holding people to every word they say. And then if it's on the numeric side, it better make sense. If the money don't make sense, then what we talking about, right? We ain't talking about nothing. So that's the energy I'm getting for Gemini. So invest in yourself for sure. Cancer, this moon is highlighting your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, and public enemies. So the goal here is to stay balanced. There's going to be possibly a challenge with recognizing who's for you, who's not for you. It could be a little hard to process. but this moon is shining a light on what's blocking you, what relationships and contracts are holding you back, keeping you in the past, what's allowing you to grow and what's not, right? Releasing it and then celebrating what has allowed you to grow. Leo, this moon is highlighting your sixth house of health, services, daily routines. You can be being called to just be a little more practical, being a little more analytical as well, like making sure the numbers make sense, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, like holding people true to their word. Jupiter's going to be loving on you too, so you're probably not going to really have a whole lot of patience for like nonsense. Your season is coming up as well. You're not going to have time for like any type of nonsense. So just stay when I say stay healthy, I mean stay in a rhythm that's connected to balance. Stay in a rhythm that's connected to your best self. Like, you know what I mean? Like your own mental health, your own emotional health. I don't want to say don't be selfish, but it might be might be calling you to be a little selfish when it comes to what's truly bringing you some level of calm, some level of peace, some level of understanding. Virgo, this moon is highlighting your fifth house of creativity, romance, and children. That energy was coming up for me during the week. Just that creative kind of energy, recognizing what's stopping us from maturing. What areas could we do better with maturing, or are we kind of stuck in, and it's time for us to like grow up in that area. But definitely being called to be playful and creative. So it's kind of like, carrying out a dream, like something you've always wanted to do. It's that kind of energy, like going after that, doing it, having the courage to do it. We're getting supported in that area as well. Libra, this moon is highlighting your fourth house. Okay. This energy could be intense. Home, family, roots. It could be very emotional. Okay. Nurture yourself. Don't be afraid to protect yourself or allow yourself to feel protected. You might want to do some type of protection kind of ritual, whether it be a prayer. You could also carry protection stones or crystals with you. You could call in for your ancestral protection. You could do like a meditation connecting you with your spirit team or your ancestors. Okay, there's going to be some emotional healing here in the area of like foundation, roots, home, family, like behind the scenes, behind closed doors kind of energy, big moon energy. Okay, be discerning, be intuitive, but think about how you're going to be wise, how you're going to show your wisdom. Scorpio, this moon is highlighting your third house of communication, siblings, short trips, social media. Okay. Communication is probably going to kind of slow down a little bit. There could be some miscommunication coming in with this Mercury and retrograde energy. But are there areas of growth that you've had maybe with siblings or even in your own communication or information, or how you process information? Is there any growth that you can celebrate, or any areas that are stopping you from growing in your communication with siblings? Okay, what do you need to release when it comes to the areas of words, exchange of words? It's definitely an energy of like slowing down, not firing off, slowing down that communication, allowing it to like be more in flow. All right, Sagittarius, this moon is highlighting your second house of love, values, possessions, finances. Okay, there's a consistency energy here. The energy is reminding us to stay consistent, stay the course, stay within rhythm, within routine. What else? Being called to balance some things out, releasing some things that are imbalanced. You may feel like your growth is imbalanced. You want to move more into like assets kind of energy versus liabilities. You want your assets to be greater. Yeah. This moon will help highlight anything that is in the way of that. Like, is there something that you're holding on to from the past that's like stopping your money flow, like stopping you from moving forward? Like, is it an emotional wound? Is it something coming from fear? Is it like a place of like maybe you don't understand, like a area where more knowledge or education is needed? There's definitely an energy around investment too. That just came up again. But that's it. That's it for the signs. So let's go ahead and jump into. I keep laughing at myself because I just feel, I don't know, I feel awkward a little bit because I had to re-record. But it's all good. And then I also feel a little zooted. But yeah, Holy Spirit, ancestors of divine love and healing light, please protect us as we download the messages for our best and highest good. Anything that's not for our best and highest good, please close, shut, lock, and block that door. In the name above all names, amen. All right, let's see what Moonology has for us. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. This is not the first time this come up. This came up recently. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. A fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Leo is a fire sign. I don't think Leo is a cardinal fire. No, that's Aries. Leo season is going to be a big deal. Full moon in Aries is going to occur. Is that Leo season? No, that's Libra season. Libra and Aries are sister signs, right? I think so. What am I going back in here for? I don't know. Blue moon. So we had a blue moon earlier this year, so we'll get another one in 6 months. I have to go back to see when that blue moon occurred. I feel like we're closer to it than like the beginning of the year. I feel like it just happened maybe in May. maybe April, May. Anyway, Leo. Leo is a fixed fire sign. A fixed fire sign. So fixed signs typically don't like change. They can tend to kind of stay, maybe not necessarily stuck, but kind of stay in things, or just get comfortable. Okay. So full moon in Aries. Aries is the sister sign of Libra, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So we'll have a full moon in Aries during Libra season. Here we go with the energy. Like, it's like carrying us through every 2 months. Here's what to expect over the next couple months. So I'm prepping you for Leo season, because Leo season is going to require you to go within and do mirror work with yourself, right? And then now it's calling us to Libra season, where it's going to probably require some level of balance. All right, so let's read Believe in the Impossible, Blue Moon, and a fiery climax approaches. Let's see what's on the bottom. Your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. So a lot of full moon energy out here, which is good. I got water and fire out here. Well, I can't say water. There's a blue moon, so blue I'm associating with water. Then we also have this green earth and sign and heart chakra. This is pretty blended energy. So the blue moon, this book says that new full moons are for results, forgiveness, and gratitude. We talked about gratitude. So give gratitude to yourself, okay? Be thankful to yourself. That's the challenge for us over the next 21 days, at least through this retrograde. I think the retrograde ends at the end of July, maybe July 27th or so. So we have a month. I think that Mercury goes in retrograde for like 3.5 weeks, something like that. So during that retrograde, at least 21 of those days, we're going to be talking to ourselves and giving gratitude to ourselves. 112, or just giving gratitude to, what we appreciate or what we are grateful and thankful for. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. So, as the saying goes, some things happen only once in the blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance that something one-off could well be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking too much of the universe. Whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, this is rare opportunity before you. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. Attune to the moon. I'm lucky. That's that Jupiter energy. Additional meanings for this card. Miss this chance and it might not come back anytime soon. What happened may only happen once. The person you're inquiring about is a rare find. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. This situation is unlikely to repeat. The teaching. There are usually 3 full moons between each equinox and solstice, and vice versa. sometimes, though, we get 4 full moons in a single season. When that happens, the third of the season's 4 moons is called a blue moon. At least, that was the original definition of a blue moon. These days, it's popular to use the blue moon for the second full moon in any calendar month that has 2 full moons. So this is interesting what they talk about with the moons, because I feel like the cycle has shifted a little bit. So basically, the moons are kind of like running into each other. So how can I put this? So like, we had the Gemini new moon that kind of like ran into the beginning of Cancer season, right? The Gemini new moon has to happen in Gemini season, but it's like the energy is so close to the next transition. That's why it feels like this smash up, like it's just like a smashing up of energies, and we're having to get more hip, more equipped, more logical. We're going to have to get more educated on what we need to be doing next. Believe in the impossible. A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. It's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants. But you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast, or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you created the situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. Additional meanings for this card. Being assertive is good. Just don't ride roughshod over anyone. Okay? If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace. Don't be a baby. Sorry, but this could be the issue. You need to have more fun. The teaching: the full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare. With rash comments or decisions, no matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just or is about to come to a peak, perhaps in a rather heated way. There could be a price to pay if you have been too competitive or too blunt. So we have been learning, the words, learning to trust the Holy Spirit, trust God, trust our higher selves, vibration, spirit teams of the words. And there could be so much we want to say. You could be doing a little more expression during this time, especially during Gemini season. As we go further into Cancer season, we're probably going to have to turn a lot of that energy inward. It's really going to help us articulate our emotions better. So if we start to either journal them or speak them out loud, or we do mirror work and speak affirmations and prayers of stability, emotional intelligence, and maturity into ourselves, then it's likely that we'll be able to embrace this next level. So we're being prepared so we can maintain what we're going to have or what we're being called into. But like I said, you may want to express yourself, but you may not have had the words, and this is the time for us to kind of go within. It's not a time for us to be hasty. We're not to respond quickly, like with our words or sharply. We're not to actually move very fast. We're actually meant to kind of be more consistent in our movement, be more intentional. Because we have such a smash up of energy, we're going to have to be discerning on what's there for us and what's a distraction. I also get the energy that there are past energies that could be coming your direction, past energies that want more of your time, more of your energy, your communication, or more access. Okay, and we could be in a position where we have to show how much we've grown. You may even shock yourself, okay? But definitely a time to stay authentic to our expression, authentic to how we are feeling. But making sure that the surface level emotions have been dealt with, and that when we are articulating our emotions, we are articulating from a place that we have set with for a while. We know what it's like, we know what it feels like, we know how to speak to it, and now we're going to probably get challenged during the retrograde where the past can resurface. Okay, but now you're better equipped, you're better hip, and we're ready. Okay, your dreams need a practical plan. We are continuing to go in the direction of our dreams. If you have dreams of living wealthy, if you have dreams of being rich, if you have dreams of owning property, if you have dreams of healing the world, making the world a better place, if you have dreams of investing, you are on the right channel. I wasn't going to do a soul's journey, but I guess we got a little bit of time. These cards are usually pretty good. Clarify. Thank you. Change. 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 I was about to say, clarify this message for us. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. When we talk about the currency of money, when we talking about it, what's on the bottom? Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Purple. Look at another purple card on the bottom. Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. That's a confirmation for me too. Balance, discipline on the bottom of the deck, and change popped out. Let's read. Then we're going to do a rooming, and then I think we can wrap this baby up. Change. Change. We're embracing change. I just saw the word guilt. I just saw the word fear. So, oh my God, doubt. That was a word that we released during our grounding. Yeah. Do we have the courage to be our best self? Do we have the discipline? Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. There is a certain comfort in the idea of living a life without surprises. The status quo has an appeal, but you will never learn or grow if your circumstances stay the same. Everybody wants life to be better, but that requires change. You have chosen to incarnate into this physical dimension called Earth because of the myriad of opportunities. If you don't take advantage of them, what was the point? Staying within your comfort zone is overrated. With change comes transformation, and with transformation comes evolution. Stop viewing change as good or bad, because all change nourishes your soul. Don't equate it with a lack of control. Life happens, and it's supposed to happen. You can direct how it plays out, and you always have the power to accept a change that redirects your path. Redirecting your path. Habib. The Whirling Goddess was the last card, Rumi card that came out last time we pulled these. Oh, excuse me. Let's make this up a little bit. Balance and discipline. All right. Let's get a Rumi card. So these Rumi messages are healing oracles. An invitation into the heart of the divine. All right. Let's see what Rumi has for us. Aluzar, Star of Venus, number 26, breaking down to an 8. This card is like a purple and pink. 44, Merciful Mother, Jamal, kind of rainbow colors on the bottom of the deck. Let's see what Star of Venus has for us. Venus, where is Venus? Venus, I believe, is Venus in Leo? Venus, where are you? Venus, yes, Venus is in Leo. So like I said, Jupiter, we're gonna be feeling ourselves in Cancer and Leo season. Cancer season, we gotta go through this retrograde. But Leo season, we're gonna be like, I know who I am, and they can't come for me like that. The numbers don't lie, I don't lie, and that's what it is, right? 26. Aluzar, Star of Venus. I am the pure light, my son. I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. Rumi. My beautiful one, born of pure radiance, you have love in your heart and a passion for play that cannot be dulled by bleakness, boredom, or fear. Your soul is sensual and dances with life, with utter abandonment and devotion. Though the ways of this world seem strange to you at times, you eventually declare it to be nothing but strange beauty and expand your heart, resisting nothing, to allow all to be bathed in the radiance of your being. You are here to share the light of another world, a blessed world of consciousness pure, and divinity so absolute that it transcends duality and instead brings all into the oneness of the greatest love. The Star of Venus is the great androgyny, neither solely masculine nor feminine, but an integration of both. The power it bestows is mighty and based utterly in love. When this star seeks us out, multiple blessings are bestowed, and our spiritual growth can be accelerated in ways that may be quite dazzling and surprising in our more limited mindset and belief systems. With great blessings, great growth is possible. However, the blessings don't do the growth for us, making it magically happen. They give us the oomph we need, the power and the opportunities and the assistance we need, yet it is still we who take the journey. The great spiritual journey for old souls at this time in Earth's history is the journey from duality to oneness. Many are signing up for that wild, loving adventure. This oracle has come to you as a reminder that you, too, have been granted a ticket for that journey. This journey of oneness is not about denying duality, but about experiencing it as an expression of one love. It is about no longer being enslaved by it. It is about avoiding what is not wanted in order to pursue what is wanted. It is about embracing the all and finding the freedom and joy originally sought, but now through a path that takes you into joy and freedom existing within. To take the great transformation from man or woman into cosmic androgyny does not require that we lose our sense of femininity or masculinity. Rather, they become so superior in development that they cease to be distinguished from each other. Our masculine clarity with its discernment, practicality, and application becomes so tender, loving, compassionate, and tempered with grace that the feminine is integrated with it. Our feminine nurturance, dedication, and connection to life become so fierce that discernment and wise action naturally prevail. With this great androgynous integration of the masculine and feminine into oneness, men and women of this beautiful earth become capable of a new consciousness. It is of one based in love, of service to life, of letting go of judgment, stereotypes, and limited belief systems, and of opening up to compassion for all life. As the consciousness is anchored, spiritual growth becomes rapid. This is not necessarily without some bumps and bruises. Letting go of old notions is what it is to be a man or a woman, to be masculine or feminine. Letting go of fear of women or men, of emasculation or victimization. Letting go of wounding are all great steps forward. They promise liberation, empowerment, and compassion, as well as peace and happiness. Yet, they are not easy steps to take. Great resistance can be evoked within you as an individual and also within the culture around you, which might find your notion of personal spiritual empowerment confronting and challenging to their culture of fear-based enslavement of the soul. They will be right about it being confronting, but mistaken in assuming that confrontation is something to be resisted. So then, what to do? Aluza, the ancient shining one, also known as the Star of Venus, holds much power and strength. Even a small blessing of her light is more powerful than the fear of thousands, if not millions of people. She is known as a worthy ally in battle of any kind, even spiritual battle. You must, however, stay aligned with her way, which is not to fight fear with fear, hate with hate, or anger with anger. Does this mean you should not feel fear, hate, or anger? Of course not. Venus denies no experience. So let yourself feel whatever you feel. The guidance is not to stop being human. Take the next step into the divine human, into allowing the star blessing to nestle in your heart so you can shift as you feel the feelings, holding them with compassion, then choosing your own truths that resonate at a far more refined vibration. The rebellious passion of the Star of Venus is that she seeks out whomever is ready to know more fully the truth of divine oneness. Whether the culture around them can acknowledge one of their own becoming more enlightened as a blessing or not, it is a divine gift nevertheless. How liberating it shall feel to be truly empowered to live life as you feel is truthful, and to feel completely empowered to allow others to do the same with joy in your heart. You understand that everyone is walking an unfolding path, and that we don't have to understand or justify the path of another to feel peace in our own hearts. If you're stumbling with judgment within yourself, do not fear. The blessing of Venus is coming to you to help you surrender it, to help you find your way through so that you can be free now. Your guidance then is to trust your path, trust your evolution, even in the face of those around you reacting to it, possibly in fear or discomfort. Trust in the paths of others too. For their truth, there is one path, and we're all on it. You do not have to convince anyone of anything. That is not your job. Your job is to embrace your wisdom, embrace your freedom, and empowerment to grow spiritually and live your life accordingly. You are becoming, through bestowal of grace, something more of a goddess and a god, of a human and a sacred animal, integrated as one. This is sacred alchemy, amplified in the star fires of Venus, who loves you as a brother or sister and honors your soul with her blessing. Shine true, beloved. Shine bright. This kind of summed up the whole message that, yeah, I got the Cancer energy in here. I'm not going to give this too much talk because I think that it was beautiful. I think we should listen to it again. But it talked about the heart space. It talked about dancing. I was getting that in the grounded meditation, like dancing under the love and light and the abundance pouring out from heaven, like raining on us. The ways of the world can be strange, but we're here to share the light of another world, a blessed world of pure consciousness, transcending duality and instead bringing us into the oneness. We truly just went from Gemini season, a sign of duality, into Cancer season. And Cancer is represented by the moon, that circular motion, but also that nurturing foundation, home, roots kind of energy. Okay, so the greatest love, Cancer represents, like I said, that nurturing feminine, emotional kind of energy. Venus is also, this star of Venus and this integration of both our masculine and feminine. It's giving me yin yang energy, which is also a message that I got early this morning. 2 messages of yin yang. Didn't write them down because I usually get things in 3s. Yeah, it talked about how, like I said, we're releasing a lot of the codependency when it comes to needing validation or approval outside of ourselves. Maybe looking for someone to say, I'm proud of you, or I like what you're doing, or some level of support or something like that. And now we're giving it to ourselves. Like this reminded us that this is our path and everybody has their own path, and that it's not about us spending our energy on trying to get them, like to convince them. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them are still stuck in fear or discomfort. It mentioned the whole thing about confrontation being something, people think that confrontation is something that needs to be resisted. Where it's like, well, how do you grow, right? It confirmed the movement. It confirmed the currency movement of money we were talking about earlier. Oh my goodness, it was so much. I that's why I don't even want to go back sometimes, because I know I'm going to miss stuff. But like as I'm reading, I don't want to interrupt it by giving my own commentary. But then I may highlight a few things in here. But it was giving us the permission to feel, right? To feel, but it's like knowing that we can shift that feeling, especially if it brings our vibration down, and allow ourselves to, by allowing ourselves to have compassion for it. So when we have compassion for the shame, compassion for the doubt, compassion for the guilt, then we can really, refine the vibration, which is what we're talking about as well during the retrograde, is this refining that we're going to have to do. So we're going to connect to oneness, stay connected to oneness, divine oneness. That's what we're focusing on, going within. Yeah. You understand that everyone is walking an unfolding path, and we don't have to understand or justify the path of another to feel peace in our own hearts. That's a big deal for healers. A big deal. There's actually a weight lifted when you think about that. Okay? Judgment told us to release judgment. We can feel free now. Trust our path. Trust our evolution. Even in the face of those around you reacting to it, possibly in fear or discomfort. That's it. That's the message. Trust in the paths of others too. That sounds like karma to me. For in truth, there is one path, and we're all on it, or we are all on it. You don't have to convince anyone of anything. That's not your job. Your job is to embrace your wisdom, embrace your freedom, and empowerment to grow spiritually and live your life accordingly. You are becoming. You are becoming. Venus loves you as a sister or brother and honors your soul with her blessing. All right. I love you, but God loves you more. Always go within so you never go without. And over here, we stay connected to the ones that sit high, look low, and see everything. Thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night, and I'll see you next week. Anything you need to know about me will be in the description box. And yeah. I was going to talk to you about how I do spiritual coaching. I'm open for one-on-ones. We could do a discovery call. No money required. But I'm here for those who understand the power of accountability and those who want to embrace change in a healthier, joyful way, not resisting, and need someone to encourage them when they become or feel discouraged, and someone who's going to hold them accountable to achieving their soul's growth, soul goals, or spiritual growth. Okay? If you're looking for that, or that sounds right, or you're also looking to, you understand the concept that we prosper as our souls prosper, and you understand that the more work that you've done within has created more abundance and fruitfulness in your life. If that's an energy that you resonate with, let's take that to the next level. So, I'm your girl, High Key Kiki. Always go with this so you never go without. And I'll see you next week.